I've been reading a little bit about this on Wikipedia now that I've made my donation. So basically, I wanted to ask you, is your character autistic? I can't figure that out.
Is he autistic? No, he's not autistic. No, he's not autistic.
Okay,
well,
okay,
I mean, there is a lot of speculation. Sorry.
no, it just says that he's a kind of has a very innocent like approach to life and everything like that. So I'm just curious in that
Yeah,
sense, you know?
yeah. No, he's not autistic, but he does have a very innocent approach to life. Yeah. There's very little I can tell you about the character without making it a spoiler for you all. But he's not autistic for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sonia.
Hi, I'm Sonika from thistybits.com.
Hi.
My question to you, Aamir, is what new challenges did the character of PK bring to you as an actor?
Sorry. What is that? What?
What new challenges did the character of PK bring to you as an actor?
Well, well, for one, he doesn't blink, so I had to do all my scenes without blinking. That was a huge challenge, especially since I was wearing lenses, and it's really difficult not to blink. But I'm trying to answer the question without. Yeah.
You can give some of it away, I'm sure.
Well, I can give it all of it away, but you know, it won't be fair to you all there. What I can say is that it's probably one of the toughest roles that I've played in my career. Yeah. So the challenge was, I mean, the fact that I couldn't blink is one of the easier things for me. I think to get into the reality of the character was what was the toughest for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Go through.
Hi, I'm Mends, coach from volleyspice.com. How are you?
Good. Thanks.
I guess my question is, if this film wasn't directed by Rajput Hirani, would you still have agreed to it?
Well, I think Raju is very, very integral to this film. I think that, I mean, this film can be made without me in it, but it can't be made without Raju. I think this is very much him, and so he's the force really behind this film, not only as a writer but also as a director. And I think this is something that's come from him. It's something important that he wants to say, which he's conveying through the film. And he, like his other three films, what he's saying is something extremely dramatic, but he chooses the vehicle of humor to convey what he's wanting to convey. I mean, if your question is, would I have agreed to the film if it had been someone else who approached me with the same script?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine that. I can't kind of twist my head around that one. It's difficult to imagine someone else coming to me with the script. But hypothetically, if some other director who I respected did come to me with the script, I guess I would have, yeah. But I find it difficult to imagine this without him.
Hi, pre-Joshi for Digital Spy.
Hi.
Your character in the film, we don't know much about him, but it does appear to have a lot of idiosyncrasies. I just wondered about the process you went through in developing that character beyond the script.
Well, there are some. I think the biggest challenge for me was getting into the head of the character. That was the biggest challenge for me. In terms of physicalities, there were some things that we worked on and brought to him. One of them is that he doesn't blink. The other is that he doesn't move his hands when he's running. He's like his hands are right next to him. But these are the physical things which ultimately go in creating the visual aspect of the character. But the biggest challenge for me was getting to the head of the character. I think that was probably the biggest challenge. One of the challenges I did face in this case also was the language, because I'm speaking Bhojpuri in the film. My character is a Bhojpuri speaking character, so I had to train and get the phonetics right of Bhojpuri. So I had to actually have a expert in Bhojpuri sit with me, read out each line, and I would write it phonetically. So I memorized all the lines phonetically first, and you know, it took me 3 to 4 months to make the lines my own and to own them. Yeah.
Is it true that you stayed in character, even when you were offset? I read that somewhere.
I wish that was possible for me to do, but no, that's not true. I think, I mean, once I'm offset, then I try to be myself. I think to be very honest, with for me, when I'm on camera, when I'm on set, ideally I like to be in the state of semi-consciousness, where I'm conscious enough to remember instructions, but I'm lost enough to be the character and be in the moment. And often even that is difficult to achieve. So in all honesty, if I achieve becoming the character even just for the moment of the shot, that's a big achievement in itself.
I think that's probably the time with the jokes, isn't it? So,
Thank you.
what is PK standing for?
Well, PK is his name, his initials. That's what he's called in the film.
Hi, Aamir. My name is Chopra. I'm here from the BBC Asian Network.
Hi.
I want to ask you, Vinod Chopra was in London last week, and he's now producing films in Hollywood as well. And I asked him, well, directing as well in Hollywood. I asked him why he made that move, and he said he doesn't know how much is left for him to achieve in Bollywood. He doesn't know what the next challenge is. Do you know what challenges are left for you in Bollywood?
Well, I think actually for me, I'm not someone who's really thinking out of Indian cinema. I think that we have such a large and healthy audience of our own, and I have a very deep and emotional connect with that audience. And I think there are innumerable possibilities of what stories we can tell to our own audience in India. I think that's in one lifetime you can't even tell, I don't know, 1/100th of all the material that is possibly there, or 1,000th. It's infinite for me. So I feel there's a lot to do here. I feel there's a lot to do here in Indian cinema.
Thank you.
Sorry?
Hi, Aamir.
Hi.
I'm Faria from H Garden.
Hi.
Some of your greatest movies possess and carry a strong social message. What message is PK trying to relay across to the audience?
For that, you'll have to see the film. I'm afraid I can't tell you the central thought of the film. This particular film is especially challenging for us to talk about, because while we're keen to talk about it, I think we don't want it to spoil. I mean, I would like the experience that you have of the film to be similar to mine when I read the script for the first time, or when Raju narrated to me for the first time, because I was totally blank towards what he was going to narrate to me, and the experience of that journey is quite beautiful. So I don't want to spoil that, by telling you what it's about.
Sydney?
Hi, I'm Simran from Punjab 2000.
Hi, Simran.
Most of my questions have already been asked,
Okay.
but I know you can't say too much about the movie, but why is this character so special? Why is the story of the film so special to you that made you pick this role above all others?
Well, I think it's a story that touched me. It moved me. It made me cry. It made me laugh. It made me ask questions to myself. And it is a very emotional experience, actually, reading the script or going through the script. And I hope that all of that has come into the film. And the character of PK is actually, I don't think Raju and Abhijat, both the writers, I don't think they intended it that way, and I don't think they planned it that way, but he's somehow very Chaplinesque as a character when I see him. So yeah, that's about what I can say.
Thank you.
Sydney?
Since I can't ask you very much about your character, I wanted to know, is that scene with you and the transistor still in the movie, or was that just the poster for the publicity?
No, that's very much part of the film. In fact, all the stills that you see used in our poster promotion are all moments from the film. So, for example, this moment of him in this police uniform, or in this, all of this is actually, these are shots which were taken on set. So these are all moments from the film, and that particular moment, which is the first poster with me, with the transistor, is one of the important moments, and it forms the key art really of the film. In that one image captures, you know, what the plot of the film is.
Really?
Yeah, and that
Just
would make.
following on from that.
Sorry.
Just following on from that.
Yeah.
From that question, Aamir, were you surprised by the kind of reaction some people had for your semi-naked picture? I mean, were you surprised by that?
Well, not really. I mean, I think that there was a lot of strong reaction towards that. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people were scandalized by it, and I think it's fairly understandable to receive that kind of a reaction. But we had to be honest with, towards the film, and that image really captures in essence, the key art of the film. So, irrespective of what the response was going to be, we would have to go with that as our key art.
Can I just ask, in relation to that, has it been a problem about getting the film censored, or is it too early to say?
No, it's not been a problem. We've already received our censor certification, and that scene is very much in the film.
Right.
Right, so
what was it like on the set of PK? And can you share any interesting stories of during filming?
Well, PK has been a really amazing experience for me, I have to say. Not only working once again with Raju and with Abhijat, but also working with Anushka and Boman. Both have been really wonderful. Sanjay was amazing to work with. He's such a warm, he brings such warmth to the set and to the film when his character appears in the film. He's got an amazing energy about him. He's got this strange mix between someone who appears extremely strong and at the same time very, very vulnerable. And I grew really fond of him. And one of the things that actually happened to me for the first time in my life is that a number of times when I was filming for this film, what Raju and I had planned for me to do in the scene or in the shot and in the rehearsals, once the camera was rolling and Raju would say action and I would start performing, suddenly I would find that actually I'm not doing what we had rehearsed or what we had planned. And I found that I was hitting different notes and different keys which I had not planned. And I don't know how that happened, but that happened repeatedly on this film. I have no idea up till now, till today, why or how that happened. But when that did, both Raju and I really liked what happened. And I don't have an answer as to how that or why that happened even today.
just out of curiosity, Aamir, just to give us an idea about what rating it's going to get here, what's the rating it's got, what certificate has it got in India?
I think it's a UA, am I right? UA, it's a UA in India. So I would imagine in the UK the similar rating would be 12A. Is that what you have? 12A. That's what we're hoping for, yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Well,
you sort of touched on Anushka Sharma. I mean, this is the first time you're working with her, and so what was your experience of working with Anushka on this film?
Working with Anushka?
Yeah.
Anushka is a really wonderful co-star. She's totally focused on her work. She has a lot of and really wonderful energy about her, and she's a great co-star to work with. I really enjoyed myself working with her.
yeah.
Your films are so eagerly anticipated by everyone. Of all the films of the year, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. I just wonder how you manage to raise the bar with every movie that you make, and how do you cope with the pressure of that expectation from the audience, because it's pretty high.
God, don't make me nervous. Well, you know, I mean, after all these years, I still get nervous. I don't know how to get rid of that. So I really don't know how to cope with the pressure. I just have sleepless nights before the release of a film. And I just worry about whether, you know, whether people would react to the film the way that I did when I, you know, heard the script for the first time. So that's something that always keeps coming back to me right up to the day of the release. So I'm not, there's no way I can cope with the pressure really any better. But I don't let that bother me when I'm working on the film. I don't let that bother me when I'm selecting a film. When I'm selecting a film, I like to react instinctively to it. The moment the narration gets over or I finish reading a script, what am I feeling in that point of time? Am I really excited by what I've read? Does it touch me? Does it move me? And if it does, then I want to do it. If it's something that I love, I want to do it. So then, when I'm working on it, I'm in the process of making it. It's only after when the work is complete that I start worrying. Yeah.
Are you confident about PK though?
I think the film has shaped up pretty much how we would have liked it to. So I think what Raju had in mind and the vision that he had as a director, I think we've kind of achieved that more or less. Yeah, I'm happy with the film.
Thank you.
Right, last couple of questions, Aamir.
Yeah.
Aamir, you do a great job as a TV presenter on Setme Bajay as well. One of your final discussions on the last series was with Pariniti, Deepika and Kangana about the objectification of women in cinema. In that you said you would be more conscious about your film scripts going ahead and what would be in them. Is there anything that you might have done on screen 20 years ago that you would think twice about doing in the future?
Yeah, a number of things actually. I mean, I did a film called Dil, in which there were a number of scenes that I would have today, really hesitated in doing. I wouldn't have been comfortable doing them. One of them being the song that we actually showed on that particular show that you're mentioning. Khambe jaisi khadi hai, ladki hai ya chhadi hai. So, a woman is constantly being compared to an object. Literally. I mean, there have been a number of films that I've done, which today when I look back, I regret having done that. Sometimes I don't think a lot of us don't really mean to do what we end up doing. It's, I think, a lack of sensitivity that we have towards these issues, and I think it's important for us to sensitize ourselves, not only towards women's issues, but also how we portray children perhaps in our films, and many other things. I'll give an example. I produced a film called Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na, and which is a romantic comedy, and that was Imran's first film. And there's a scene in that film where where they are at a club and these two guys who are extremely male and macho walk into the club. Well, actually they ride into the club on horses. It was played by Arbaz and Sohail. They're meant to be these really macho guys who come in there and they are dancing on the floor, and they start, acting fresh with the girl, start flirting with her. She gets uncomfortable. Imran notices this and decides to try and help her. So he tells his friends to wait outside and he keep the car ready, and then he goes in and then does this play acting as if he knows the girl and is her lover or ex-lover or something. And he says, you didn't tell me that you had AIDS, and accuses her. Both of them back off when they hear that, and it was meant to be a funny scene which people saw, liked, and the film was a success. 3 months after the film released, I received a letter from a girl who said that, I've watched your films, I've really liked your work, and I really respect the work that you do, but I want to tell you something that really hurt me. And she mentioned this scene from this film, and she said that my sister has AIDS, and the way that you depicted a person who has AIDS, shown to be a person who people have to shun or run away from, was something that really hurt me. That's when I realized that I really shouldn't have done that, and I should have been much more sensitive. And I wrote back, I apologized to her that it's something that I regret, and something that I really shouldn't have done. It didn't occur to me. So there are many times that we end up doing things as creative people, and we sometimes don't realize what we are conveying. Sometimes we think it's funny and we do it, but later on we sometimes realize that maybe this shouldn't have been shown in this light. We could have created something else which was funny, where the character saves the girl or helps the girl out of that situation. This needn't have been the route that we selected. So I think it would be nice if I think at this point in time, I think it's time that the creative people in Indian cinema should kind of stop and pause and reflect on a number of these kind of issues. How are we reflecting women? How are we showing children? How are we conveying various things? It's time we just paused and thought about it a bit. It's time we changed.
So that awareness for you,
yes.
That awareness for you, was that a gradual process, or was there a moment, like a catalyst, where you thought, listen, I need to change my ways, I need to become more sensitive?
No, I think it was a gradual process. I think as I even mature as a person, as I matured even as a creative person in how I'm communicating and what I'm communicating. So there were, at different times, I've hopefully over time I've become more and more sensitive about different issues. At this point of time, I haven't taken on any films. I'm reading scripts to see which one I would like to work on next. So at this point of time, I haven't signed any film. Next year, my team and I are also taking a break. I'm talking about the Satyamajati team. We've been working for the last 5 years on this show. So we're taking a bit of a break from SMJ. So next year I won't be doing a film, but I don't know which film yet. I haven't decided.
You've been quoted as saying that your role with PK is your best and your favourite so far in your acting career. What makes it so special, and were you at all apprehensive about playing what seems to be quite an eccentric character, and are you worried at all about how it will be received?
I think I found it to be one of my most challenging roles because of the way the character is, because of who the character is. That was for me the toughest challenge. And when you see the film, you'll realize what I mean. Was I apprehensive? I think I'm pretty much apprehensive about every character that I approach before I start working on it, because until I give my first shot, I'm still battling, struggling to hit the right note and to grab the the character by the gut. So that process goes on until I give my first shot, and it's a process where I'm always doubting, I'm wondering, is it right or not? And then when I'm actually shooting it, that's when I feel whether I've got it or not. It's kind of a nebulous process. Yeah.
Right, final question, Aamir.
Yeah.
It's just about your image of PK. Who decided on that, and how long did it take to create? Why this particular look?
The look, okay. Well, so some of the things about the look, one of them is that so I'll just describe him physically. I have green eyes, so I've worn lenses. He doesn't blink, so that's one of his physical characteristics. My ears stick out in the film. I mean, they stick out in real life also, but in the film we kind of used that to our advantage and really made them pop out. So I don't know. It took us. I don't know how long it took us. Even the clothes that I wear in the film, none of the clothes were made for me. They were all clothes the costume designers picked off people on the streets. So when they liked something, they requested the person to, give them the shirt or pant or t-shirt or whatever it may be, and shoes or chappals, and hopefully that person would agree to that. So all the clothes and stuff are stuff that have been picked off the streets from people who've been wearing this. This entire process of arriving at what the character is would have taken us, I don't know, 6 months or so. Yeah.